Hello everybody and welcome to the Campus Wellness and Recreation Center for some OCAA volleyball action. Corrado here on the call. Joining me is Tegan. Tegan, a matchup of two powerhouses. What do we expect to see out of this game here? Of course, Seneca undefeated. Durham only 2 losses, one of them coming to Seneca earlier this season.
You know, I think we're just got to be ready for some good volleyball. It's going to be a good game. Like you said, both teams, very good teams. Both of them played really well in the Adidas Cup that was just held here, the exhibition tournament. So it'll be good to see.
Serving first is going to be the Sting. Now serving number 6, Michaela Patrick.
And we're going to start things off here with an ace from the Seneca Sting side. Looks like that was Michaela Patras, who had a very good showing at the Adidas Cup just under a week ago. This is going to be Young, back for Buck, but it's blocked there at the net. There's Taylor Grant, who also was a show-out player at Adidas Cup last weekend. Be Young sending it across for Oak.
Patras keeps it up.
And a good dig there out of the back court. McFarland will just send it over from the back.
Point for the Lords there.
Yeah, a late call there. I'm not sure what the ruling was. Nonetheless, Brooke Young getting set to serve. Another point there for Durham as they tie it up. The deflection went out of bounds, but of course, as I said, deflected at the net there. Brooke Young getting set to serve again.
Kept up by Seneca. Tipped over.
Oak for Young, back for Oak. A light tip there is
McDonald with
all
the
they
tip.
need.
McDonald coming off an Adidas Cup MVP tournament there. Very well played by her.
It's always a difficult challenge playing against Durham. You always have at the very least, the one tall middle there, and trying to just avoid the blocks or even try and block theirs. It's not very easy, but another point there for Seneca, and they now lead 4-2.
It will be Alexa Millett up here to serve for Seneca Sting.
And it's going to be an ace. As that one kind of took an awkward bounce off of Kate Quemby.
Now a 5-2 Seneca Sting lead.
Block with the dig. Young to Oak. And it's going to be a Seneca point as they call that it goes straight out of bounds. So now down by 4 is Durham.
Alexa Millett still with her serve, her third of the match.
And that one will go into the net. So the Lords now get set to serve again. It'll be Chelsea Oak.
Kept alive by Seneca.
Oak will put it up for Young, across for Quemby, going across the court.
McDonald with a hit. Oh, little tip. It's not over the net, just a little short there. Point for the Lords.
It's the right idea, though, with Jessie Buck right there. You're not really putting it through her, so you got to kind of just put it over her there and just mishit it there.
Now serving Chelsea Oak.
Grant with the hit over and point for the sting.
The deflection there kind of disrupted Oak as she was getting ready for it to come low, but took a deflection there at the net, and then it ended up being a bit higher than she expected.
This is going to bring McDonald to the service line.
Just barely out. Risky take there, but ends up paying off in their favor. And a great serve there. Jesse Buck with the ace, brings the Lord within one.
It's been a great set so far.
After being down 4 at one point, yeah, it's almost looked like Seneca was going to run away from it there, but Durham just being annoying and staying right there with him.
McDonald puts it long again.
Just like that, we got a tie first set.
What more can you ask for?
We knew this one was going to be a good one. Obviously, Durham trying to stay competitive in terms of trying to stay as close to Seneca as they can. In the standings, of course, Seneca leads with that 12-0 record. Durham 9-2 in second. As we see another ace there from Buck. Of course, on the tails of Durham is Algonquin, who's 8-3. So all these matches are very much important. And off that deflection there, it's going to be point for Seneca now. We're tied back up.
This is going to send Grant to the line to serve for the save.
And Oak there with the dig for Young. Is it behind her doing McFarland, and they get the ball back. That time for Quemby with the little tip. Excuse me, it was Conkle. Young there with the tip. Black will play it back behind her to Quemby.
Patras is able to keep it up. To Grant, little tip.
Push up on McFarland. Now Oak across for Quemby. Takes a deflection. Good rally here. Here's Young. Plays it behind her for McFarland for the tip. Now Oak. McFarland will just put it over for a free ball.
McDonald bumps it up. They set. Spiked there, but kept alive by Durham.
It's a great rally. Both teams just barely keeping it alive, but Seneca there will get the point. And that's one of those points that feel a lot more like more than one, just in terms of building that momentum, a long rally like that, and you're the team that ends up with the point. It feels like a big boost there.
This is going to send Grant back to the line for the sting. Grant's able to keep it alive. To Patras.
That one will go out of bounds, so point for Durham. They tie it back up now. Serving is Elizabeth McFarland. First year here for Durham, and has really made an impression early in her OCAA career, being one of the standout players. And she'll get an ace there off of that misplay. Good play there from Seneca to tie the set back up.
Really back and forth set here for Otto.
That's what we expected. I said, like, Seneca went up 4, and it was to our surprise that they were getting up that early, but Durham brought it right back.
You knew they would. You knew it would even out, especially with these two teams being the highest the highest in the standings right now in the east side of the OCAA.
Oh, yeah. Another point there for Durham is now Kate Quemby will be set to serve.
Now serving Kate Quemby.
Patras or McDonald.
Young all the way across for Oak. And it's a perfect play there.
Too much power for Grant to keep that one alive. Oak really laid the hammer down on that hit.
Picked her spot well, too. Didn't put it low enough where she'd be able to dig it up, and she was forced to use her palms there to try and keep it up, and was just unable to do so.
Millett blocked up the line.
Good block there.
McDonald with an excellent effort, but not able to keep the play alive for this Sting.
That one will be an ace there for Quemby. And a timeout will be called by Seneca as now Durham. Now Durham's up by 4. Kind of an interesting timeout call, but Durham was on a bit of a run there.
I think this is one of those timeout calls, you know. It's still early in the game, early in the set. You're just trying to stop momentum a little bit.
Hey fans, make sure to check out OCAA.com for all the latest on college basketball, volleyball, and all OCAA sports. Stories, stats, and schedules, all just one click away. Visit
After today's game, Durham goes on a bit of a road trip next weekend, playing Georgian and Canadore on the 18th and 19th respectively. And they are back at home on the 21st, where they host Fleming. So, interesting, there are 3 games in 4 nights for the volleyball team. It doesn't happen too often, unless, of course, there's a tournament.
Definitely a lot, but you know, they've trained for this. They'll be able to go. They're fit. They're gonna look to win all 3 of those games. You know, really stand out and make themselves stay at the top of this OCAA East Side standings.
Team that's really impressed at Adidas Cup was Conestoga. They didn't finish maybe where they would have wanted to, but just every match they played, they gave the teams they were playing a very difficult time. With Durham, they went, I believe, either 4 or 5 sets, and it was just a bit of a surprise, but just a group that it really just rallies and makes games difficult for other teams, despite their record.
Grant's able to keep that one alive. To Patras.
Good dig there and a tip there from Young, trying to catch him off guard.
Patras is going to try again.
Another good dig there.
Oh.
And Oak, with the perfect attack, just lands on the back line. Lords now up 5. Just a hard-nosed effort there from everyone on the floor to get that point.
Patras. She's able to get a tip off Quemby there, and that's going to be a Sting point. One that they really need to kind of get a bit of momentum back in their favor. They're now trailing 15-11 after leading by 4 earlier in the set.
now serving number 10, Emily
Colin with the serve.
And that one will go right out of bounds. So Lords get their point right back. And now serving is Catherine Conkle.
Now serving Catherine Conkle.
Patras switches sides of the court, and she's able to get the little tip down for a point. Very good play there.
So now Seneca gets that point back, but For the Sting, at some point you got to think about putting consecutive points together, because if you just keep going one after another, it's not going to end well for you.
But here's the Patrick serve.
Young plays it behind her for McDonald, but a bit of a miss hit there as it sails out of bounds. Now 13 serving 16 here.
Patrick's trying to claw her way back in here for the Sting. McDonald with the hit. Good kill there. Lots of power, picked the right spot. Smith didn't really have great footing there for that shot. It was just too powerful.
Now serving Michaela Patrick.
Light tip there, but Seneca able to keep it alive, but a double hit call, so point for Durham.
Now serving Brooke Young.
Good serve there from Young. And a net violation call there for Seneca as someone stepped across the line. So Lords now reinstate their 4-point lead.
Now serving Brooke Young.
Grant keeps it. Millet with the hit, blocked.
Pushed over, but it's just out of bounds.
It's going to be Millet at the line here for the Seneca Sting.
Now serving Vanessa Moore.
Good hit there from McFarland, but it's kept alive. Smith keeps that one up. Young for Quemby out of the backcourt.
Grant with the tip over.
Well in for Young, played behind her for Oak with the tip.
Grant looking to go. And she's able to get a deflection there with a point for the Sting.
Now serving Alexa Milo.
Millet back at the line, serves over.
And Buck there with the kill. As for a second there, it looked like Seneca was going to keep it alive, but it just took a errant bounce off of the dig attempt.
Now serving Jackie Oak.
Grant with the hit.
Young for Smith. Up for Quemby, but a good dig.
Patras tips it over.
Smith for Young, played behind her for McFarland.
Blocked at the net there. McDonald's going to go for it. McDonald's going to go again.
Young for Quemby, and that one will go down. Ever since the Lords have gone up 4, yeah, they've lost that lead a bit, but they've always managed to get it back and keep it distance enough for them to stay comfortable. Great dig there. Smith for McFarland, but it's kept alive. Smith for Young there for Buck. And that one will go down. 21-16 now. Seneca's going to call another timeout. As the Lords now up 5 and 4 points away from sneaking out of this first set with the win.
What do you think of the Lords gameplay so far, Corrado?
They're playing really well. I think the only thing I might say, maybe not an improvement, but just something to talk about during these breaks and in between sets is they're getting a lot of the looks they want with Young putting it in a good spot for McFarland or Buck or Oak. They just need that killer instinct. A lot of times there's an opportunity to hammer it down, but they're more looking for placement. And I just think even if you're not putting it exactly where you want it to, if you're going to hammer it down, it's going to make it difficult for Seneca to get at the very least a first good dig out of it. And even if they do, it might not be where Seneca wants it. So I just think a little bit more killer instinct, but other than that, they've played pretty much a perfect set.
Yeah, it's true. Near perfect set for sure. But we've seen that a few times. They haven't got the exact accuracy they've wanted on their hits, but the power just makes it uncontrollable for the Sting. You know, they're able to dig at it, but it's just not controlled, and it seems to be running out of bounds for them there. So I agree with that take.
It's a good take.
It's a great take.
Make me a coach.
Tony, watch out.
No, absolutely not. I'd just tell him to get pucks in deep. Battle in the corners. That's my coaching style.
Fortunately, pucks in deep does not work for volleyball.
You know what? Balls in deep, though. You get it to the back court, along the corners. There's a translation there.
Yeah. But I think you should stick to commentating.
Oh, 100%. And that's going to be a Durham point there. It almost sounded like it took a deflection off something, but umpires say no. Oak with another serve.
Grant. McDonald.
Oak puts that one up for Young. For McFarland. With the perfect hit there. Just enough power to disrupt the Seneca Sting. And that'll get them to get that ball and put it in an attacking position. Lords now 2 points away from taking this first set in commanding fashion. Which that to me is a bit of a surprise.
We knew they could compete, but no one really expected such a great performance right off the start. Such a commanding one.
It's not even that. I expected both teams to have a great performance. I thought it was gonna be tight. I thought we'd be looking at like 24, 23, 22, 24, something like that. But it's 24-16. Lords are gonna, if they get this next point, they're gonna win by 9. Quick math. Oh, and of course I jinxed it as a double touch call there.
Prime example of the commentator's curse right here
I
by Corrado.
just stop talking. Here, you got the whole next set by yourself.
McDonald at the line for the Sting here. Looking to keep them alive in this set.
Smith up for Oak. For Quemby. It's kept alive, however. Young. Smith up for McFarland, who just tips it over.
Grant, tip. She's able to get a point for the Sting there and make this 24-18 for Durham. So the Sting are still down 6, but with the last 2 points going their way, there's a bit of momentum. We'll see if they're able to grab a hold of it and make this a little closer here in this first set.
Could be an ace there. And a timeout being called here from Durham. Do you like that timeout call?
You know, personally, I wouldn't do it, but Tony knows what he's doing.
You're right.
That's why he's over there and we're up here.
That is true.
He's a good coach. He knows
That
what
is
he's
true.
doing. I think he's just going to try to calm them down a little bit because they've been playing fantastic so far. They still do have a 5-point lead.
I just always think, especially in volleyball, when you call a timeout, it gives the other team that extra little bit of momentum. Is it worth having that conversation with them to calm down and relax, then let them figure it out on the court? Like, I would have maybe given it 1 or 2 more points before I called one.
That make it like a 3-point game first, you think? Because they still are up 5 here.
Because, yeah, exactly. And when you're down, even when you're only up 3, you're still up 3 points. You'll need 1 point. The other team needs 3.
Yeah.
So, but again, you're right. That's why we're up here, and Mr. Tony Clark is down there.
He probably knows something we don't.
It could very well just be a bit more than just trying to calm him down. Maybe he's seeing something that Seneca's doing that's working, or something that Durham's not doing that's not working, and he wanted to address it.
Do we think they get the point here right out of the timeout? Do you think it?
I'm going to have a diabolical call. It's going to be a service error.
Oh, wow. Well, that was wrong, but good try.
It was close.
Great dig there, kept alive. Grant is able to get it over. A bit of a free ball there.
Lords with an opportunity here. Out of the back court. It's kept alive. But that will do it.
And there we go.
The combination of the McFarland and Buck block kept that ball down on the Seneca side. Lords take the first set 25-19. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 3 minutes for our second set.
Hey fans, who wants some free stuff? Make some noise if you want a t-shirt. Of your Durham Lords versus the visiting Seneca Sting. Just as a reminder,
We're back here. Brooke Young's going to be starting us off for serving the second set here with the Durham Lords in a lead of 1-0 over the Seneca Sting.
Right before we get started here, give me a score prediction.
Score prediction. You know, the Lords look really good. I'm going to go with 25-22 for the Lords this set. What about you?
We'll start off there with Malott with a point for the Sting. I'm going to go 25-19 for the Sting. I think they're going to...
Think a little bounce back action?
I think they're going to bounce back real good here.
We'll see.
Right now was Colin.
Buck's blocked at the net.
Put up will be on the far side attack here, and a perfectly placed shot from Patras.
Quemby over to Young. to Oak.
Nichols will.
And there's a point for the Lords.
Nichols kept that up, but didn't really put it in a advantageous spot.
This is going to send Oak to the line for the Lords, who was such a good server in this last set. I think she had 5 or 6, it looked like, in a row there. So very good at the line so far for Chelsea Oak.
There's a few good service runs for the Lords there. Jesse Buck as well. Nichols will keep that one up. It'll be light tip there, but it's kept alive.
McFarland over. And it's a Durham point. What an effort there by Young, though, to keep that alive with the pancake, I believe they call it.
Yeah, that was executed perfectly.
Great play.
Patras will keep that one alive. Played into the middle, but it goes right into the net with no touch on the Durham side. So now they'll take the 3-2 lead.
Chelsea with another good serving set here. She's made her first 3 this set.
This is calling to the far side there.
Smith
McDonald.
Get it to Young. To Quemby.
That
Just
one
low.
will go out of bounds. McDonald with a good spot there. Lords were able to put an attack together, but went just out of bounds. This is now Patras.
Now serving for the Sting, Michaela Hopkins.
Smith gets that up to Young, who's looking Quemby's way.
It is deflected at the net, but kept up. Coughlin for Michaela.
McFarland's able to put it back over to the Sting side.
Patras out of the back, but it's kept alive.
Little miscommunication there, but Smith gets it over.
Nichols to call in all the way across there. It's blocked, but again kept alive.
Good eye there by Oak to make sure that one sees out.
Lands just barely out of bounds.
The Lords are up 4-3 in the second set here. And Conkle comes in.
Now serving Jesse Buck.
Jesse Buck at the line for Durham. And
That
she
one
puts
will
that
go
one a little short into the net there.
So now Alexa Malott.
Now serving Alexa Malott.
Smith over to McFarland, looking Oak's way. Powerful hit there.
Patras to Coughlin behind for McDonald.
Great
And
block at the line by Quemby. They're able to get another point here, the Lords, and take a 5-4 lead in this second set. This is going to send the all-impressive first year McFarland to the line.
Now serving Elizabeth McFarland.
Coughlin plays it there short, but it's kept alive as Grant with the attempt. Nichols to Coughlin behind for McDonald, and another block there.
What good defense by the Lords we're seeing this set. That's 2 big blocks in a row there. Few good tips.
On a generally really good attacker as well in McDonald.
Very good.
Now serving Elizabeth McFarland.
McFarland with her second serve here. She puts it deep.
So it'll be Grant, and that one goes out. Another point there for the Lords.
The Lords are able to take a
7-4, yeah.
3-point lead for the Lords here. McFarland with her third. Good dig by McFarland. Quemby with a great save, and Oak's able to get it over.
And it'll be a point for Durham off a net violation call.
And it's up to a 4-point lead now for the Durham Lords.
Now serving Elizabeth McFarland.
Coughlin behind for McDonald with the tip, but it'll land out of bounds, and the Sting are just out of sorts right now as we're going to get a timeout call, I believe. We will get a timeout call. The Sting just, I don't know, it's weird. They're not,
It's not clicking for them.
nothing's working. Yeah, like they're getting the looks they want. It's just simple mistakes, just landing out of bounds, not playing the blockers well, and just like that, Durham jumped up to an early 5-point lead in this second set.
Well, it could throw them off too. You know, a team as good as Seneca Sting with a 12-0 record, they're now playing from behind. That's never easy to do, no matter what the sport is. So realistically, they haven't really been in this position much this year.
It's the age-old debate, is not having any adversity, is that going to come back to bite you at all? Because it seems like they're facing some adversity now, and they're not really able to get it together.
And it's not like, as good as Durham is playing, it seems like a bit of lack of communication, you know? They're not making the right passes to each other. They're not connecting with each other on their side of the court. But also, Durham is playing a fantastic game. No, not really any mistakes I'm seeing from their side.
Just also worth noting, Seneca, yes, an undefeated record. However, they did face their first loss of this calendar season at Adidas Cup to the AL Boomerang, a school out of Quebec. However, that being said, I do believe Seneca went on to win the tournament.
They did. They did go on to win the tournament. In a great game versus St. Clair. Another OCAA powerhouse.
What's the beauty about those tournaments is you get to see teams from the other conferences normally you don't get to do until the playoffs. Grant will play that one in the middle for Coughlin. That one's blocked at the line, but kept
Great
alive.
block by Conklin. Smith over to Young. Oh, great tip by Young. She had everyone thinking she was going up for this kill for Conklin, and she just tips it over herself. Great play. McFarland still at the line for the Lords. McFarland with the serve. And it's blocked at the net. Another one tipped. Oak up to Young. McFarland.
Just out of bounds.
Now a 5-point game. The Seneca Sting are going to get their serve here in.
Now serving Aaliyah Lewis Galvez.
Conklin with the kill. Seneca Sting are not able to keep that one alive, and the Durham Lords are back up 6. This gets send Kate Quemby to the line.
Now serving Kate Quemby.
11 serving 5 here.
Big block at the net there by the Durham Lords. And then Seneca follows it up with a hit out of bounds. This is now a 7-point lead.
What do you even do here? Do you take another timeout now? Do you give them a bit more runway? Like, you don't want this to get too out of hand before calling your second timeout.
I think you got to have a little faith in your players here. You know, you don't want to waste all your timeouts, or sorry, not waste, but you don't want to use all your timeouts too early. I'd say if they can get up 10 here, maybe 9, 8, then you'd think about taking another one.
Good dig there. Put across for Grant. It's blocked at the line.
Conko with a great block there.
The Lords are just buzzing right now.
And it is now. It's now up to 8.
Yeah.
And this is the question, like you were saying. At what point does Seneca here take another timeout and kind of regroup?
Now serving Kate Quemby.
You were talking before the match, and neither of us predicted a 3-set match here, but the way things are going now, if Durham doesn't slow down here shortly, they're gonna run away with the second set.
It just doesn't look like the Sting have an answer right now for them. You know, every time they go up to the net there, the Lords are either tipping or they're spiking. And the Sting can't figure out which one it is, and they're just not ready.
This is gonna be Grant here on the serve for the Sting.
Smith to Young. Bit behind Conkle, but she's able to make a good play there to get it over. And it's long.
There's going to be a miscommunication there.
But it's tipped.
I was going to say miscommunication there from the Durham side as Uncle and I believe it was Quemby, unsure which one was going to hit that one.
Smith able to keep it up. McFarland from the backcourt, and that one's into the net.
Now the Sting here trying to put a run together here and bring this a bit closer. Now trail 5. Great
Oak
serve there.
to Young. Back to Oak. Great hit down the line. Tip. Young's able to get over to Quemby, who just tips it. Great tip there by Quemby.
Very important for the Lords there to get that point back. Now give Seneca that much momentum.
And this is going to send Catherine Conkle up to the line.
Now serving is Catherine Conkle.
That will be an error there. Missick serves, but she'll put that one right into the net, giving the points right back to the Lords.
It is now a 15-9 game for the Durham Lords. And that's going to send Brooke Young up to the service line.
And a point there for the Lords. Not sure for what.
Not exactly sure of the call, but point for the Lords, and it's now a 7-point game.
Another serve for Young. Coughlin across for Patras with the
Smith
light
over to
tip.
Oak, and it's just short into the net.
Again. A light tip there, but it's kept alive by Colin. Everyone is unable to get out of the way almost.
Smith to Young to Buck. Great hit.
A dig there, but it's unable to be
Great
kept
hit by
alive.
Buck.
Another point for the Lords.
It's good to see Buck back in the lineup. She was a little injured in the Adidas Cup as we saw her take that break on the bench, but what a player she is. Adidas Cup All-Star, really important factor for the Durham Lords. Quemby over to Young, to Buck, and it's another great hit. And a commanding 19-10 lead for the Lords here over the Sting.
Well, like I said, this was very unexpected. Grant almost missed playing that one off the serve. It's going to be a free ball for Durham.
Quemby set there by Young, and it's a great hit, but able to be kept alive.
Staying able to get a point there after that great dig by Taylor Grant. Now serving is Michaela Patras. Who's a utility player for this Sting, can play multiple positions, setter, libero, and outside hitter. That one will land out of bounds. So point for the Sting.
Smith over to Young, Tip back for Buck, and it's just out of bounds there. There's a little momentum shift here coming. Sting are able to get a few points together here and close it from a 9-point to just a 6-point game.
At what point here, if you're Tony, do you consider calling a timeout?
See, is this where it pays off not calling the timeout earlier as that Seneca Sting coach? You know, you just kind of let them figure it out themselves. But as we see that, McFarland has an incredible kill down the line, and there's nothing they can do on the play. This is going to put Buck up to the line with a 7-point lead for the Durham Lords.
Strong serve there, and it's going to be an ace.
Buck with her second serve. Another good one.
Great one, yeah.
Young over to Conkle.
Kept alive by Coughlin. Nicholas back behind her for McDonald. Excuse me, Grant.
And it is now a 22-13 lead for the Durham Lords. They're up 9 in the second set here. After a dominant performance, we can say. Jesse Buck has had incredible serves this whole game today. And
Another one, just perfect.
Just great. You can see the bench. You can see how excited everybody is for it, because they really are just great serves.
If you've been joining us and watching along throughout the whole season, like, obviously we're at what now, the 13th game, 12th game for Durham today. Game 1, Jesse Buck, to game 12, Jesse Buck, is completely different. I just feel like as the season's gone on and as she's gotten better with confidence, she just I don't know, it's just she's playing much better than at the beginning of the year. Not to say that she had a poor start to the season. It's just like she's really just kind of.
What I think you're trying to say, she's always been a good player, but now she's a player you don't want to face at all if you're the other team. You don't want to see Buck enter the court. And here it is, McFarland. And it's a great hit, great kill there. Once again, it's just one of those power shots that Seneca isn't able to handle today. And they are now up with a 10-point lead here and set point. McFarland at the line.
Light tip there, kept alive.
Quemby. Quemby's able to win the set for the Durham Lords, who are now up 2-0 on the Seneca Sting.
We don't have the stats in front of us, but I'm sure you could count very easily on one hand the amount of times this season that the Sting have been down 2-0 in a match. It might very well be 0.
I highly doubt it, to be honest. They're such a good team, 12-0, and we could see that end today.
What do you think? Do you think this one ends in 3, or do you think the Sting find a way to force a 4th and maybe even 5th set?
I think the Sting are going to battle back, and I think this is going to be a close one. But I think right now, I think the Lords might be able to take it. Like we said, if you haven't handled adversity, you don't always know how to come back from it. So I think that could really play against the Sting here, and they could take this.
So the games this season that the Sting have dropped 2 sets. October 26th against Canadore, obviously they won 3-2. Against Durham, November 13th, they also won 3-2. Of course, we don't know if they were down 2-0 in these sets, but they're just the games that They were. They did lose 2 sets.
Like you said, there is only 2 games with that. I don't want to say it's impossible, but I do highly doubt that they were ever down 2-0 in those sets. So it'll be really interesting to see here what happens and what the Sting are able to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a big hand for Brooke. She just got herself a DC smackdown.
You can see though, 40 seconds left still on this set break, and the Durham Lords are already out on the court. They're ready to go. They're firing right now. They don't want another break here. They want to keep going. The Seneca Sting though, they're taking a little more time in their huddle, talking to their coach, trying to figure out a way back into this game here.
Can confirm, after looking at all the box scores, they have never been down 2 sets to nothing this season. Against Canadore, they lost the first set, but then battled back, lost the third, won the fourth, and then won the fifth. Against Durham, they lost the first one, battled back, lost the third, won the fourth and the fifth. So it's twice in a row that they could have lost in 4, but won both the 4th and 5th sets. And finally, against Centennial, they were actually up 2 sets to nothing, and Centennial were the ones who battled back, but then a commanding 15-7 win in the 5th and final set of that one. Of course, the story hasn't been fully written here as you get set for the 3rd and possibly final set. But if there is a team in this league that could muster a 2-0 comeback and end up winning 3-2, most people would say it is the Seneca Sting.
It is, especially in this east side. Once again, they are 12-0. They've been around. They're experienced players, and you know they're gonna give up a battle. And they're never gonna give up.
It'll be the Sting starting things off here. But I think what's important for them is get up early and ideally big. So you can have a 3 to 4 point lead for the whole set and just carry that all the way to the end. That's just huge for not having to play with pressure.
And there's the first. But we got to remember though, Toronto, they did have that 4-point lead earlier in that first set, I believe it was.
This is true.
So
I think the psyche is different though, the mentality now, because now
now it's do or die.
You're facing a loss. Yeah, exactly.
And we all know they want to get that perfect season. Because let's see how much it means to our softball team here that went 36-0. They pride themselves on. You want to be perfect. So they're going to give it everything they got here.
This was a good call there from Chelsea Oak because it was just out of bounds. Brooke Young serving for the Lords, and it just hits the top of the net. That's something if you're the Lords you can't do. The Sting will get points on their own. You can't give them any free ones on your side.
So that's going to bring Podgers to the line here for the Sting.
And a perfect shot there from McFarland. Right in the corner of the court. Tegan's giving me a look.
It's a great shot. Nothing the Sting can do about that one.
That's what, the equivalent to top bins in soccer?
The equivalent to that would be a 40-yard screamer.
Oh yeah.
Like that was.
You've had a few of those in your career.
Just a few.
No, you like the last-minute goals, heading it in off of a corner kick. Those are your favorite.
They are.
When you're down a man.
I like doing it. I like hearing how excited you get in the commentary booth when I'm rewatching the games later.
Point there for the Sting as the Lords thought it was going to be an over-the-net violation, but nonetheless, 3-3 here in the early going of this 3rd set.
That's going to bring Millett to the line. Young's able to keep that up, and Quemby puts it over. McDonald.
Will be blocked and land inside. Point there for the Lords.
This is a very different Seneca-looking team than we saw the other day at the Adidas Cup.
They just seem rattled. It's just like
They just haven't woken up yet today, and it's all going Lord's way. And it's going to send Buck to the line, who's been sensational so far.
So it'll be Buck to the middle for Young. They're there for Conkle, but it's kept alive.
Grant, and she puts it long. Now a 2-point lead for the
Seneca upset that there is no deflection call. And we're not down there, but from up here, it sounded like it might have hit something. Nonetheless, point for the Lords, and Jesse Buck to the line again. And that one's going to be kill there for the Sting, and a big point because it also just gets Jesse Buck off the line for another rotation.
McDonald's coming up to the line here to serve for the Sting. Once again, this is the Adidas Cup MVP of the tournament. She had a great showing. She's got to be the star here. She's got to be the key player to bring them back into the game. So we'll see if she can do it.
And she starts it off with an ace.
It's a good way to start it off.
And a miss hit there will give the Sting their second lead of the set.
McDonald's still at the line here. And she gets an ace. It's now a 2-point lead for the Seneca Sting. Well, this is what we said, Crow. We talked about this. The Sting aren't going to go out easy. They're going to give it all they got. They're going to battle. That's what we're seeing here. Kept alive there by Nichols. To Grant, blocked at the line. Still up. McDonald's going to hit. Tips it over. Young to Conkle.
Good dig there to keep it alive.
Grant just gives a free ball over to Chelsea Oak. Now it's over to McFarland, and it's blocked. And a point for the Sting. And they find themselves up 3-5.
8-5.
Sorry, up 3, 8-5. Sorry about that.
Wake up. No, I'm just kidding. That's a Young across for Quemby, but it's kept alive there. And another point for the Sting. We're going to see a timeout call here from the Lords. See if they can reel this set back in and make it a tight one down the stretch.
Well, they've already come back from 4 in that first set here, so we can't count them out of anything. The Lords know how to play, they know how to fight, so they'll be here for sure.
Yeah, I think the Sting here just kind of playing with borrowed time, and they know it, so they do have to try and bring that one back.
Here we go, coming out of the timeout. The Durham Lords trailing 9-5.
I think this next point is going to be massive.
This will be a massive one for sure.
It's
If
either
the Sting are able to get it, it'll give them a little chokehold on this set. But the Durham Lords can stay in it with a point here.
It's going to be a free ball for the Sting here.
Kept alive. And
a great play there from Quemby. Looked like she was just going to put it down right in front of her, but she elected to go cross court. Kind of caught
Grant off there. Not much you could do. A lot of power up in that volley position. She couldn't keep it in.
This is McFarland with a good serve. Great dig there from Smith.
A
And
little
Young.
miscommunication there, but Grant's able to get it over. And a point for the Sting. This is going to send Grant up to the line.
Now serving Taylor Grant.
This is Quemby with a good attack.
Patras over to McDonald. She just volleys it over.
And a little bit of a poorly set ball there. It's going to be a
Point for the Lords.
point for the Lords.
I think there was a foot violation there on the line. I'm not too sure about that though, so don't take my word.
Nonetheless, if you're the Lords, you got to use it.
Gotta use
Maybe a bit of a gift there.
But now we're within 3 here.
Good tip there. McFarland for Young.
To Oak.
Cross for Oak. Lords get the ball right back. Here's Young. Going to go for Oak again.
Just too far.
But it was deflected, so it'll be a point for the Lords. Oh.
Ref's gonna be
The
talking
linesman said that it was deflected.
Go talk to the other linesman now.
And it will be a point for the Lords.
2-point game. The Lords are still in it here.
Great pancake there to keep it alive on the Lords side.
Oh, what an effort there by the Lords. Unfortunately,
It was all, they almost caught them mid-celebration, but it was a lift call. That would have been something.
That
Like
would've
how frustrated would you be if you're the head coach of the Sting there if the Lords managed to get that point?
when you're all in the huddle.
This is Young for Oak.
Powerful hit by Oak.
The Sting able to get a free ball back over though. Young with the tip. It's kept alive and a misplay there.
And we are back up to a 4-point set. This is a 12-8 lead by the Seneca Sting here.
Now serving Hart for Judah.
There'll be a kill there for Oak.
McDonald is not able to handle the heat of Oak there. And that's going to bring Catherine Conkle to the service line.
Now Lords able to bring it back within 3. Just keeping it tight, keeping the pressure on. It's not, by all means, not at all an easy win for the Sting here in this set. Lords intend to keep it that way the whole way down. However, service error there gives the Sting the point back.
Now serving Emily Collins.
Going to be a point for the Sting there as they hit the rod on the net. Five-point lead now.
Gotta like to get puck involved here if you're the Lords. And it's a great point by the
point there from Oak. I wonder if Tony knows that the Sting are just gonna just try and stuff Buck at the net, so they're looking for other options and other openings on the other sides of the court. Kind of use Buck as a decoy.
I don't necessarily know if Buck needs to be a decoy, though. Even when they know she's there, she's still pretty unstoppable. It is Patchers coming up to the line to serve for the Sting.
A miss hit there as there was a free ball from the Sting, and instead of using it, it was Grant who kind of just went for the kill on her own there and fortunately paid the price. Going to be a double hit call there.
These are the kind of mistakes you don't want to be making if you're the Seneca Sting right now. With this game only being a 3-point game now, you're down 2 sets to none. You got to make sure your game's tidy. Just kept alive. This is Grant. Quemby not able to handle that one. Too much heat on it. And it is back up to a 4-point lead here for the Sting.
And an awkward bounce there as the Sting get another point. They now lead 5 again. We're going to get a timeout call from the Lords here as Tony uses his second and final one of the set. What do you think the message is that Tony Clark is sending over to his team?
I think he just wants to let them, talk to them a little bit, settle them down, get them back in control of this game, because those first 2 sets, they were dominant. And I think they just got to go back to what was working, What do you think? Don't
get complacent. Treat this like it's the first set. Treat it like it's the second set. Don't overthink it and look at it as like, all right, we can win this game with this set. Just calm down, relax, and put yourself back into the mindset of it's a 0-0 game.
Would you say pucks in deep?
Pucks in deep. Quick line changes, 35, 40-second shifts.
Lots of intensity. Is that the strategy for the extramural hockey team you're a part of here?
I don't know. You're the coach. You and Troy Hewitt are our coaches.
We just work the doors, but it is a good time. Corrado here is a great hockey player.
All right, relax. I'm mediocre at best.
He's also humble. But up to the line here, we have Millet coming to serve.
And absolutely skied that serve is the last thing you want to do after a timeout call.
And Jesse Buck coming up to the line here.
A bit of a misplay there from Jesse Buck. Gives the Sting. Oh? No, it'll be a point for the Lords.
Not quite too sure what happened there, but we'll take it.
The Sting coach is very frustrated, and him and Tony are having a bit of an animated discussion.
It's good to see he has a new clipboard, though. The last one took a few hits in the Adidas Cup tournament.
And yeah, unsure what the call is, but the point stays with the Lords, and that is a massive one. Makes it 3-point lead at 17-14 instead of it being 18-13 for the Sting.
But Buck gives it right back.
And this Sting coach is saying, ball don't lie. I guarantee that's the exact words that came out of his mouth.
He looked at Tony and he was like,
yeah,
this is how it should be.
Yeah, that's, anyways.
McDonald to the line.
will be Quemby there with a good hit, but it's kept alive by the Sting.
McDonald, big hit there.
And it'll be a block there at the net. Lords keep it within 3.
Everyone's excited about this game. You can see some staff workers, Troy Hewitt, Kenzie Doe, and Jocelyn Shelton even getting into the blocking jumps there like the bench.
So fired up. The vibes are immaculate.
We love it. It's really good. It gives such a home court atmosphere and such an advantage to our Durham Lords. And what a
another hit there from Conkle, just puts it in a great spot. It's now a 2-point set. Start to wonder, when do the Sting start using their timeouts? Great serve there. It'll give the Lords the ball back, but they give the free ball right back to the Sting. And a net violation call, unfortunately, on the side of the Lords.
Grant up to the line here to serve for the Sting.
And a perfect attack right down the line. Lords now within 2.
This is what we expected the whole game.
Kate
kind of sad.
Kate Quemby now serving for Durham. And a good attack there is now within 5 of the win of the set are the Sting.
Fortuno up here to serve, the first-year player out of North York.
And it'll be out of bounds. Tough to be able to give free points. We're going to get a substitution here. Coming out is Catherine Conkle, and coming in is Jessica Doherty. And she'll go right to the line to serve for the Lords. And it'll be an error, unfortunately.
Puts that one long. It is a 3-point game for the Sting now.
The substitute back right after the service.
Now serving number 10, Emily Conkle.
Kept alive there. It'll just be Young tipping it over.
Patras with the hit. Blocked at the net. Kept alive. Smith to Oak. And it's over.
A little bit of a scary sight there as a few Lords players kind of both looking at the ball, waiting for the other one to go for it.
Oak with a big hit.
Great dig.
Patras
blocked at the line. It would have been out. And the Lords take advantage of that.
Brooke Young makes this a 2-point game for the Lords.
It was blocked at the line, and it was surely landing out of bounds on the Seneca side, but I guess just in the moment, Nicholas just kept it alive but put it right over to the Lord's side, and it was an easy point. That one will be out of bounds. The Lords are within 1.
You can see everyone here is fired up. We got the boomsticks going, lots of noise.
Essentially trailing for the whole set. And now you're within 1 at 21-20.
Shay is shaking in her boots beside me here.
Great dig there. This will be Oak. It's blocked but kept alive. And McFarland ties this set up at 21 apiece.
Wow. I don't know what to say right now. What a set. It's been a roller coaster of emotions.
Brooke Young getting set to serve again for the Lords.
Patras.
And it will land out of bounds, so point for the Sting, 22-21. That'll now be Patras serving. Somewhat of a free ball there as the Lords have to get it back on the other side. That one will be blocked and it lands inside. The combination of Jesse Buck and Chelsea Oak there at the net. And now Oak getting set to serve at this 22 apiece match. Excuse me, set. And a kill there for the Sting. It's now 23-22.
This is going to bring Alexa Millett to the line.
And a kill there as it was an unfortunate dig on the Lord's side. It's set point for the Sting.
Millett looking to get them back into this and win their first set here today.
Sting able to keep it alive out of the back court. It goes off a deflection and the Sting will take it as they have won their first set. That is 2-1 in favor of the Lords.
We'll be back in 3 minutes to cover this fourth set for you guys. fourth set here. Brooke Young starting us off with the serve. And Buck gets a kill.
Give me a score prediction.
Score prediction. I think I was right for the other one, just had it wrong teams. But I'm going to go Durham wins it here 25 to 18.
You think so? You think the Lords finish this one in 4?
I do. What do you?
I'm not gonna say which team, but I think it's gonna be 26-24. Is my guess.
Kate Quemby keeps that serve alive. Over to Chelsea Oak. Smith with a
Alive
good play
there. Donald for Coughlin across for Patras, but it's kept alive with a great dig. Coughlin behind her for McDonald, and that one will
go out. Point for the Lords.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but that looked like it was in. Again, we're way up here, but
I thought it was in too, but you know, at the end of the day, we're just the guys that talk up here. We don't get a say.
This is very true. If we got to say that Durham would be undefeated.
Oh, 100%.
And kept alive
well
there,
done.
just barely.
And it's another, we're going to call a point for the Sting here.
And just barely inside there. It's a good serve from Patras.
Smith took a gamble on that one. It was just on the wrong side of it there.
Patras again with the serve, and it's a perfect one just over the net. The Lords, it'll be a violation call against them as it looked like they were going to get a good attack back the other way. Sting now up 4-2.
I gotta say, Carl, these songs in between serves, fantastic. Quemby keeps it alive. Here comes Oak. Great shot.
And it'll be a point there for the Lords.
Sting not able to return that one to the Durham side. Buck up to the line to serve. Just a little too high for Buck there to get down. So that will be a point for the Sting as they lead by 2.
Another point there for the Sting. And it's going to be another point there for the Sting as they're going to slowly try and run away from it.
A relatively commanding 7-3 lead here for the Sting. Up by 4. Tony's up off his feet. How do you think he's feeling right now?
I think he's still feeling pretty calm. However, it is another point now.
Now it's going to 5.
Still no timeout call just yet.
The line judge seemed to disagree with that, but the ref went in the way of Seneca Sting, saying it was in. So we now have a 6-point game as the Durham Lords take their first time out in the 4th set. And what do you think Tony says here?
Well, first off, I was just going to say, if you're the Sting, this is exactly what you wanted out of this set. Just come out early and take a commanding lead, and that way, at the very least, if you if you're trading points for the rest of the set, you do have a 6-point cushion to not be too concerned about. Just can't give up too many runs to Durham. As far as what Tony's saying is just, you know, they're playing differently than they were for the first 2 sets. I think they're playing either with a bit more nervousness or just a bit more like lackadaisical, just not living up to the moment.
Do we think they're giving the Seneca Sting a bit too much respect here? You know, like they know they're 12-0, they know they're a top team, and they're not really competing. Sorry, competing is not the right word, but they're giving them a bit too much respect here. And like, you have a chance to finish them, you gotta do it. Could that be something that's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to go to a 5th set. It's anything can happen in a 5th set. You know what I mean? Like you have the command. It's up to Seneca to come back and win this thing. You guys are the ones in the driver's seat. Just play like that.
Here we go. Oak, Smith, to Quemby.
It's all got to start with 1 point. This next point is huge.
McFarland. And there it is. There's the point for the Lords. McFarland's fired up. The Lords are fired up. And we'll see her at the line now.
I don't think there's anything better than being able to serve immediately after you're the one who gets the kill, because your confidence now is up there while you get to the line.
For sure. Good block there by Conkle. And another one. She puts it down. And it is a 4-point game now. McFarland with the serve.
A good kill there for the Sting. See, that's what I was talking about. Like, even if you're going to trade points back and forth, you have that cushion to be able to do that. For the Lords, you need to string some runs together, some 2-0 runs, some 3-0 runs, just to get back in this thing.
Quemby deflected but stayed in.
And there it is. Good point there from Chelsea Oak. Now down 4.
Kate Quemby will go to the service line for the Durham Lords.
That'll be an ace.
7 serving 10. The Lords need to claw their way back into this one.
See, that's what I mean. Just points like that. Just itching your way back in, because now if Seneca gets a point, you still brought yourself closer than you once were.
Exactly.
So even if you can keep trading those 2 points for 1 point, then it's, you know, slowly, but it does get you back into the match. Obviously, the ideal is to be able to go on a 6-0 run to tie it up, but
he's got to get 1 point at a time.
Exactly.
And it is 11 serving 7 now for the Seneca Sting.
Taylor Grant now at the line. And just barely gets over the net there. Here's Young. McFarland out of the backcourt, and it's a perfect strike.
So we've seen a few of those from her today. She's playing fantastic. Great hit there by McFarland.
Yeah, it almost seems like any look that she's getting it down to the ground on the Seneca side.
Kunkel coming up to serve here. It's a great serve by her. Gives a free ball to the Lords. Chelsea Oak with a power shot there. It's kept alive.
And it'll be out of bounds.
Now it's a 2-point game.
And again, the Sting calling for a deflection, but
they're not going to get it. It's going to bring Kunkel back to the line.
And it'll be an ace there.
Kunkel ace. And it's a 1-point game. Just like that, the Lords are back in it.
That bend, don't break mentality there. That'll be blocked there at the net, but the Sting able to keep it alive. And that one will go down as points for the Sting. They now take a 2-point lead.
Quemby to Young, looking for Oak, and it's a great shot by Oak. Fantastic. And it is back to a 1-point game here. And this is going to send Brooke Young to the service line.
Just barely gets over as it nicks the net there. And it'll be points for the Lords as they tie it up.
12-12. What a game.
You got to think, what if the Lords can take this one and beat the Sting and be the first team to beat them through the OCAA regular season? What does that do for your confidence going forward for the rest of the season?
I think that's huge, especially with their next games being against Georgian, Canada, and Fleming, all within a few days span. I think having this confidence booster would be huge for them.
All teams that you should be able to beat, too, if you're looking at the records.
You should be able to, but you can't take any games for granted here in the OCAA.
Sting now reinstate their 2-point lead. And that one will land just inside. Now the Sting up by 3.
This is exactly what you don't want, though, if you're the Durham Lords. You don't want them feeling like they're in control here. Because that's when they can just run away with it.
Absolutely. And a missed hit there from Smith.
And it's now the 4-point lead. I feel like that's been the story of the game, though, so far. It's been a lot of 4-point leads, and they always seem to come back, and they always seem to disappear. Great dig by Smith there. They will keep it alive. Young to McFarland, and she's blocked at the net. And it is now a 5-point lead.
It's a great block there from McDonald. Coming in at the last second and getting up there to block it. 'Cause it looked like there was space and she just took it away.
(18 to 12) now for Seneca Sting.
Timeout call from Tony Clark. We've said it before, but we can't emphasize it enough just how important this first point after a timeout call is on either side. At this point now, if Seneca takes it, they go up 7 and are 6 points away from taking the set and forcing a 5th one. Then if you're Durham, you get the first point, you bring it within 5, and just that put that little bit of doubt in Seneca's mind. Especially considering who may be up to serve for Durham with this next point.
Sting, Lords 18-12. Lords down by just 6. Now serving, Emily Courtney.
Here comes the all-important serve from Seneca. Oak's able to take it there.
A light tip by Buck, but it's not enough. Is the Sting able to get it back on the other side?
And there it is by Buck. The power shot to give the Lords the point and make it a 5-point game.
It's now Chelsea Oak up to serve.
Now serving Chelsea Oak.
Good dig by Oak. Quimby's able to get it over.
That's going to be well out of bounds.
And it's a 4-point game. And we're going to see Oak back at the line.
Chelsea Oak with the serve.
And that's going to be a good kill there.
Sting with the point.
Is now the Sting up 5 again, 19-14.
Sting within 6 points of setting this to a 5th
Now
set.
serving Michaela Pappas.
That one's blocked there, but can't get it back over to the other side.
We have a 6-point game here now with Seneca within 5 points of winning. And it is 20 serving 14. McFarland with
A
another
great play.
great shot.
Substitution coming out is Jesse Buck. And coming in for the serve is Maxine Felsberg.
Now serving Maxine Felsberg.
Oak able to dig that one out. It's Quimby with the tip.
Very nice.
Perfectly placed. Lords now bring it within 4 as Felsberg gets set to serve again.
Now serving Maxine Felsberg.
Now it's going to be out of bounds. No deflection.
17 serving 20. The Durham Lords looking to claw their way back into this.
At what point, if you're the Sting, do you consider calling a timeout?
I think you let him get one more if you're the coach, and then you definitely got to look at it and just regroup.
Good hit there as they reinstate the 3-point lead, 4 points away from victory.
Substitution coming. Jesse Buck for Maxine Felsberg. Now serving Alexa Below.
And Just a little late on that second hit there was McFarland. Is now the Sting 3 away. Good dig there from Oak. McFarland gets that one back for the points.
Just like that, McFarland will be at the line for the Durham Lords too.
It's a good serve, kind of handcuffs the Sting there.
Oak's able to keep it alive. Over to Quemby, and it's a power shot. 19 now for the Durham Lords, trailing by just 3. This one's gonna go down to the wire.
Great dig there by Smith.
Oak puts it over.
And that block will be unsuccessful as it drops on the Durham side. You got to go on a run now if you're Durham. You can't afford to give up ideally 1 point, but obviously 2 finishes a set.
Adidas Cup MVP Emily McDonald to serve here.
And a good kill there from Quemby.
Take Quemby up to serve. Durham Lords need a run here.
And a ball that might have landed out of bounds. But McFarland gets a touch on it. So now it's set point for the Sting. To force a 5th set. This is Taylor Grant.
It's long.
Just out of bounds. A good call there from the Lords to let it go.
So the Durham Lords need to go on a 3-point run here to at least tie it and force the game to go to 26.
And a substitution here is Doherty comes back in to serve. If you remember the last time she subbed in to serve, it was an error. Obviously not looking to repeat that at this point. But you just love to see the trust that Tony has in his players.
That's a great serve though.
And the light tip there will do it as the Sting force a 5th set.
And we'll be back to cover that in 3 minutes. Here we go with the 5th and final set here between the Durham Lords and the Seneca Sting. It will be Seneca Sting serve to start.
Score prediction.
No.
No? Okay, winner prediction.
No, I feel like I keep jinxing it. I don't want to do that. I don't want this to be my fault.
Okay, give me a score without giving me a winner.
15 to 12. What do you think?
(15-8).
Are you going to give me a winner or no?
No. I just think in both matches, the mid portion of the sets, there was a team that ran away with it. Yeah, it became close at the end, but by like around the middle point, around that 15 mark, there always seemed to be that was a team that was well ahead of the other.
Fair.
Obviously a shorter set here for the 5th one.
I guess only time will tell with this one here.
The Sting do jump to the early lead. And that one will be blocked at the net. And it's now 3-0 all of a sudden.
For the Sting here.
You consider calling a timeout? I know the set just started, but essentially what you're looking at is a 14-10 game. Well, because it's normally you go to 25, and now you're only going to 4. You're only going to 15.
True. Sorry, it took me a minute there. Math is hard, but the Durham Lords they're gonna fight here, and McFarland with a big hit cut this lead down to 3. That was an important one. I don't think you can go down 5.
No.
But they're not. It's a 3-point game now, and the Durham Lords are still battling.
Great kill there from Patras.
Four-point lead here for the Sting, and it is 5-1. And there's Buck. There it is, 5-2. Big point for the Lords. This is gonna put Chelsea Oak to the line. They need to go on a bit of a run here.
Be Patras, kept alive by the Lords.
McFarland
with the tip, that just works.
Great tip by McFarland there. And we're now got a 2-point game.
It was just supposed to be a free ball, but it ended up being a kill.
I think they expect you to play it a little deeper, you know. But hey, it works. Chelsea Oak with the serve. Blocked, but out. Point for the Sting here, and it's back up to a 3-point lead as they are serving 6-3.
That one's going to be blocked there at the net by McDonald. Seneca, once they get their next point, we will be switching sides.
Buck is blocked at the net, and a miscommunication there. And it is the 8th point for Seneca.
Yeah, just miscommunication there, as it was both Smith and Quemby that were kind of moving back, waiting for the other one to get it, but neither of them did. And a timeout is going to be called by Durham. This would just be a tough pill to swallow if you lose this one, as the Lords were leading 2-0 in the beginning, and of course Seneca battling back, making it the sets 2-1, and then of course 2-2, and now sitting here in set 5, they lead 8-3. But of course, it's first to 15 here. Yep.
7 points away to the win here after coming back from 2 sets to none. Serve is in. McFarland with the tip. Kept alive by McDonald. Patras with the kill.
We always say how important that first point is after a timeout. The Sting now 4 points away with a commanding 6-point lead. And a good block there by McDonald.
Millet was going to continue at the line here with just 5 points needed for the Seneca Sting to complete the complete comeback. And it's in. A great shot there. Just keeps the Lords in it. They still need to go on a big run here, but if anyone can do it, they can.
Substitution here as Doherty comes back in to serve. How nice would a 6-0 run here be for the Lords?
It's got to start now. There's no time for it not to. Doherty with a good serve.
Well, it starts with one, and they did get the one. Yeah, an 11-point run would be even better.
That might be a little too much you're asking for. But I'd love to see it. It's a great serve again.
And that one will land out of bounds.
Back within 4.
See, if the Lords come back to win this set, which comeback is more impressive? The down 2-0 from Seneca or the down 10-4 from the Lords?
I think if the Lords can do it, 10-4.
And it'll be an ace there. And a timeout called for Seneca.
Tony Clark showing his coaching excellence there. What a sub in there to put Doc in to make some serves.
What do you think the message is on either side?
I think the message from Tony is keep going. You know, right now you're down. You have to come back here. You have to give it all you got. Seneca, I don't know. They could be going either way with their talk. What do you think?
I think just get back to it. Like, you went up 10-3, 10-4. Like, you were doing all the right things. Don't lose your heads and composure now. This is Jessica Doherty. It's another great serve, but the Sting are able to attack there. The light tip. The lead is again 4.
Lead is 4. Sting are 4 points away. Emily McDonald at the line. Great play by Smith there to keep it alive. She just can't get her hand on that one to keep it in play. And it is now a 5-point game in favor of the Seneca Sting.
Timeout called by Durham.
Emily McDonald with the serve here.
That one will be out of bounds.
The Sting are now 2 points away from winning. McDonald with another serve.
And a good kill there.
To 8 here, and not that I'm happy about this at all. What wasn't this your score prediction?
It was. You're not wrong.
Hopefully it doesn't.
Hopefully it's wrong.
Hopefully
it's
Coronado's
16
wrong.
to 14 is the final score.
Yeah.
Good dig there for Seneca to keep it alive. And that will do it.
The Sting have coming back from 2 sets down.
Just a good resilient effort from them to just come back. You know, you got to give credit where it's due. Final score of the final set, 15 to 8 in favor of Seneca. Final score of the match is 3 to 2 again for the Sting. Thank you for joining us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 30 to 35 minutes for the second half of our back-to-back, where the men's team will take on the Seneca Sting.